Welcome to the Reconnection Club podcast, the show that helps parents heal troubled relationships with their adult sons and daughters. I'm your host, psychotherapist Tina Gilbertson. Each week, I'll offer you compassion, clarity, and personal development tips designed to help you reconnect, not only with your child, but with yourself. Now let's get started. The idea of giving anything to an estranged adult child is sometimes problematic. That's why I created episode number 10, 5 Reasons Not to Give Gifts. So make sure to listen to that episode as well if this topic is on your mind, episode 10. And you can find that at reconnectionclub.com/10. But in cases where you want to give, despite having listened to that episode, there are 2 aspects of what I consider to be what I'm calling healthy giving. Number 1, healthy giving has boundaries. And number 2, healthy giving respects the wishes of the recipient. Boundaries mean you don't keep throwing gifts into a dark, bottomless, thankless pit. The first time you don't get a thank you from an adult child who has better manners than that in general should be the last time you send a gift until the relationship improves. Respecting the wishes of the recipient might mean that if they ask you not to send gifts, you don't. And if they ask you to send smaller, fewer, or less expensive gifts, especially to grandchildren, you do. When it comes to any impulse toward your estranged adult child, it's important to recognize what's going on inside of you before you take any action that involves your child. Too often, when we're feeling hurt, anxious, or desperate, we act from those emotions instead of making a thoughtful, rational decision. Acting on feelings rarely serves rejected parents very well. Think about your desire to give as something different from your desire for contact. It's important to separate those 2 things, the desire to give and the desire for contact. The pure desire to give comes from a place of wholeness and abundance. The idea of gift giving as a form of contact comes from the pain or fear of loss. Those are very different places from which you might choose to give, and often they create different outcomes. When you give purely from a place of wholeness and abundance, the result is a feeling of warmth and satisfaction. Receiving any response from the recipient is irrelevant. When you give from the pain of loss, the result is a feeling of disappointment and resentment when your gift is not acknowledged. If the spirit of true generosity moves you this season, but your child has asked for no contact, or implied that they don't want contact right now, here are 4 ways you can still give in a healthy way. Number 1, give the gift of space. If you've been asked outright not to contact your child, the most meaningful gift you can offer is not to send anything at all. Sadly, depending on your situation, this may include gifts for grandchildren as well. It depends on what you and your child have previously agreed to regarding them. If you're worried about what your child will think if they don't hear from you at the holidays, plan to let them know one day in the future just how hard it was not to reach out this year. One day, when you've become close again, you'll tell them you thought they'd appreciate it more if you offered them the space they requested, and the 2 of you can talk about it. You might choose to write a card or letter this year, which you can share in the future so they know what you were thinking and feeling during your silence. If your silence is taken as anything other than the gift it really is, your child can let you know that. All they need to do is reach out. Number 2, give a truly anonymous gift. You can give donations to various charities in your child's or grandchild's name. This could be a way of giving to them that honors your child's wish for no contact, but also allows you to celebrate your family's interests and personalities while doing good in the world. For this to be totally anonymous, have the gift card sent to yourself, not to your child. And don't tell your child or allow anyone else to tell your child about the gift you gave in his or her name. Telling an estranged child that you gave on their behalf could be construed as a guilt trip or a bid for attention or something other than generosity. So if you choose to give to a charity on their behalf, consider it a spiritual and very personal act. Pledge never to reveal to your child what you did unless and until the relationship is fully restored. This is the only way to find out how it makes you feel to be an anonymous donor, walking the earth, knowing that you've been kind and generous for no reward other than the good that you've done. Number 3, give the gift of your personal growth. Whenever parents grow, their children benefit, and so does the relationship they share. And this is just as true today as it was when your child was growing up. It's never too late to take a leap in your own evolution as a human being and as a parent. And you don't have to worry about how to demonstrate your personal growth to your child while you're not in contact. Do it for yourself first and leave the rest for later. What could you use more of in your life? Would you like to be more grounded, more peaceful, more independent? How about kinder to yourself? Any of these might be the very things your child would wish for you too. Make some efforts toward personal changes that are calling to you. Any personal growth you achieve will usher in a new you and a new era in your life. With enough personal growth, you will no longer be that same person your child left behind. Strive to know and understand yourself without judgment or criticism, because that knowledge and understanding will increase your self-compassion. And self-compassion breeds compassion and empathy for others, especially your children. But it starts with you. So take some time to get to know yourself better, love and accept who you are, and then you can give your child nothing less than your very best self. What better gift is there than that? Number 4, use the season of giving as a reminder that you deserve to receive as well. Choose a gift or gifts for yourself to affirm and celebrate the loving, lovable, and growing human being you are. I really hope that you won't turn a deaf ear to this particular suggestion. Really take it seriously, because your relationship with yourself is very important business. This holiday season, I invite you to choose something you want that's meaningful, useful, fun, beautiful, or delicious. It doesn't have to be expensive. It might be as simple as a bag of chocolate-covered almonds. But it could also be as grand as an international culinary tour, if that would be possible, and enjoyable for you. If you find yourself only half on board with this and thinking, nah, I'm not going to do that, or I could get myself something, but I don't really need anything, you are experiencing resistance. There are consequences to resisting self-care, so really take this under consideration. I urge you to go out of your way before the end of this year to consciously and purposefully give something to yourself. Feel and experience what it is like to be noticed, appreciated, and rewarded. Even when you do that, just for yourself, it counts. So those 4 types of healthy giving, again, were the gift of space, anonymous donations, the gift of your best self through personal growth, and the gifts you give yourself. If estrangement has made you feel weaker inside, or even broken, as some parents describe it, these types of gifts will help you mend and heal. And your healing will be a gift not only to yourself and to your child, but to the world. Until next time, remember that you are a loving, lovable, and still growing human being. So please take good care of yourself. Bye for now. If you've enjoyed this episode of the Reconnection Club podcast, I invite you to check out reconnectionclub.com. The Reconnection Club is for parents at any stage of estrangement from their adult, child, or children. So whether you've just realized there's trouble between you, you've been living with estrangement for years, or you're newly reconciled but still walking on eggshells, the Reconnection Club is your essential resource for information, support, and continued personal growth. With our courses and workshops, expert interviews, monthly Q&A calls, and a friendly, active community, the Reconnection Club is a wonderful place to be for anyone suffering the pain of estrangement from an adult, child, or children. So check it out at reconnectionclub.com.